Outlets are reporting that Disney Plus is finally profitable, although that's not quite the metric that Disney said. Let's talk about a little sleight of hand here and a big question that we have about how Disney combined their figures in ways that might be a little bit misleading. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my compatriot, Mr. VashSky. Vash, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going pretty well, Now, if I was, say, investing in the Walt Disney Company, maybe not so much, but thankfully, I'm not, so I am doing just fine.
That's great to hear. I just want to go to a big headline real quick, just so we get the temperature of how the market is functioning. If we go over here to the Hollywood Reporter, it says that Disney turns a profit in streaming as entertainment income soars. Look at that. There's even fireworks there at Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom there at Walt Disney World in Orlando. Wow, that's a great view right there. They must be celebrating how great the earnings are from the parks. That's a little sarcastic, forgive me. The big worry from this call was that the park segment, they're saying that they're going to be flattening and because of demand moderation, which is a very euphemistic way of saying that less people want to go to the theme park. That's a big deal for the company because as they've been trying to build streaming, again, because if streaming is profitable, then wait for it on that one, the item within the company that has been paying for this tens of billions of dollars that they've been putting towards streaming has been the parks. So the parks have suffered in order to prop up streaming. So it's very important that streaming be profitable. There's just so much of the company that has been focused. They bought Fox for streaming. They had to buy the rest of Hulu because of streaming. They tanked the movie business in order to prop up streaming. They got rid of their entire physical media company. Well, not the entire thing, but they basically said goodbye to it as a significant revenue source in order to prop up streaming. Am I making this point clearly enough, Vash?
Well, I think so, but I think you might have left out their linear business has been completely cannibalized by this whole thing as they've allocated resources away from that business and dumped it back into streaming. And you would have thought that investors would have been placated by, hey, we're investing more in the park, 60 billion or whatever. It really didn't move anything until, well, that segment stopped making as much money as it did before. Now investors are concerned here. But, well, as you said, Jonas, in the past, it's all about the albatross around Disney's neck being streaming.
Well, let's talk about the origin of that albatross real quick. This is from the Walt Disney Company Investors Day. This was done in 2020, as you can see here, December 10th of 2020, with Bob Chapek, Kareem Daniel, who's no longer at Disney, see Jimmy Pitaro from ESPN, Bob Iger, Dana Walden, Kathleen Kennedy, she was there at the time, Sean Bailey, Jennifer Lee. This is just a great collection of people here. They make all the content that you love there at the Walt Disney Company. I'm going down here to something very specific here. This is a transcript of what was said at the Investors Day because they essentially were trying to put investors at ease. I do believe this was at the point that Nelson Peltz was advising the Walt Disney Company on how to stave off activist investors. Anyhow, given the value of growing our subscriber base, as you've seen today, we plan to reinvest revenue generated from our better than expected subscriber growth back into content investment. Thus, we continue to expect Disney Plus to achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. Again, I'll note this guidance includes Disney Plus, Star, Star Plus, and Disney Plus Hotstar. So Star and Star Plus is Hulu outside of the United States because they're not talking about Hulu in this specific section here. But this is a very important statement right here. Achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. And again, emphasizing Disney Plus to achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. That is a big deal. That is a big statement. And it's one that if you follow the headlines today, it seems like Disney has followed through on that. But if you're here with us, you know that there's another shoe left to drop. Let's go over to the financial statements over here. There's a little bit of a presentation item here from the investor relations page here. DTC streaming business operating income and loss calculated as direct-to-consumer operating income loss at the entertainment segment. So if we look right here, this is the figure that they're talking right here. DTC streaming businesses making $47 million in one quarter. That is what they mean when they say that streaming is profitable at the Walt Disney Company. So yes, DTC streaming businesses did become profitable here in before the end of 2024. This is one quarter earlier than they said they were going to do it. So I guess that means they achieved it, right?
Well, not according to their 2020 guidance. Their 2020 guidance was, oh, no, we're going to be profitable with just Disney Plus by itself.
Well, this right here. This right here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vash.
If you look at the paragraph that you read earlier in this, it says specifically, thus we continue to expect Disney Plus by itself to achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. Again, this was a note to investors about their obviously brand new streaming service as it was in 2020 and when they expected to achieve profitability. Again, they were forecasting that service by itself would be profitable. Now, as we get closer to that time frame of Q4 2024, now they're saying, well, we've achieved profitability and ahead of expectations through our combined streaming efforts. And that includes Hulu, which, well, still has yet to be paid off, and ESPN Plus. Again, two services that are not noted in this initial statement here.
Yeah, and let's go over to how they usually count streaming right here. If we go over to the entertainment division, they have linear networks, direct to consumer. This is the revenue number right here, $5.8 billion that they have in revenue from Disney Plus and Hulu right here. And they made a profit. Oh, wait, that's not a profit here. This is operating loss of $19 million here. So this is not great. So what they've decided to do in order to justify this, here's a helpful tweet for those of you who might be following at Jonas J. Campbell on Twitter. In millions, this DTC streaming business, direct-to-consumer and ESPN Plus businesses, the $66 million right here that they have from ESPN Plus, this is the only place in their financial statements that they reference ESPN Plus. Sorry, in most of the statements. You have to go all the way to the 10Q in order to find this information. So this was not volunteered anywhere else. They put in ESPN Plus as $66 million. By the way, that is a swing of around $73 million from July 1st of last year to June 29th of this year. So that's a pretty big move. And if you want an explanation for that, well, let's just go one tweet down. This is the part that comes from the 10Q right here. This is paid subscribers in millions, went from 25.2 to 24.9. So this is a dip of 300,000 subscribers and a rise in average revenue per user of, let's see right there. Well, it comes out to about $17 million when you multiply all of that out right there. So that still doesn't account for a pretty good portion of that 77 million that we're talking about right there. It leaves, there it is, 56 million in revenue undisclosed. So my question here for the Walt Disney Company is, the Walt Disney Company is very well known for chasing headlines. Like that's something that they'll usually stretch the truth just a little bit in order to say that, this is our number one park in customer satisfaction, or this is the number one land in customer satisfaction at the Disneyland Resort. Well, if it's your own lands, then of course one of them is going to be number one. When I look at something like this, Disney Plus and Hulu together, which by the way, Hulu, we're pretty certain Hulu is actually a profitable streaming service at this point. So that 19 million in loss right here, I'm pretty sure that is mostly Disney Plus's fault bearing down on Hulu here. So they don't break out the Disney Plus numbers. They don't break out the Hulu numbers. They only combine them here. And then they also combined all of them together in order to get this $73 million boost at this moment right here.
Right.
So I was digging in the 10Q with Vash here just a moment ago, and the only thing that this could be, the only thing that is excluded here, according to their SEC filings, is pay-per-view. And I'm going to say if they're getting at least 30 to 50% of their revenue over there at ESPN Plus from pay-per-view, why are they not shouting that to the heavens that they have a great new income stream on their hands. Why are they talking about Disney Plus as the future of the company when ESPN Plus is over here as the only reason that they can say that they have streaming profitability in this quarter right now? This leaves me with so many questions. And I'm not saying that anyone is violating SEC rules here. I'm not saying that there's fraud here. But I'm wondering, I would love to know, like, for instance, if they were to put The Acolyte on Hulu, or if they were to put The Acolyte on ABC and just do a quick run through of The Acolyte on ABC, they would be entitled to shift some of the expense for The Acolyte over to ABC and reduce the load of expenses from Disney Plus over to ABC. So this $73 million, I would love to know if this is a trick of legal entity accounting rather than, well, actual profit. My question here basically is this accounting wizardry or is this legitimate?
I think, and that's a fair question, right? Like you said before, this is the only reason, basically, that this segment was able to achieve the profitability that the whole company is reporting on. In fact, the only mention of ESPN actually contributing to this combined DTC effort was actually noted in the executive commentary portion of these documents right here. You can actually see this on page 9 in the third paragraph here. This better than expected performance, I would say, combined with our profitable results at ESPN Plus, resulted in positive profitability at our combined DTC streaming businesses for the first time and 1 quarter ahead of our previous guidance of achieving profitability in Q4. But they don't say, and they're very quick to tout, like you said, Jonas, that the headlines, right? We got 500 million, seems like right here, 20% growth, all this kind of stuff. They could have easily had a section here or a sentence here saying, through our ESPN Plus platform, we were able to sell, 60 million in pay-per-view, and that could be attributed to the growth and success of this platform right here. And it's like, okay, well, we get it. Now we have a new revenue stream and one that will be contributing to this combined DTC effort for years to come. They don't say that anywhere in here. And so that's why we're all kind of confused. Like, okay, you're attributing this to ESPN Plus. I get it. We understand it. But there's accounting that's just not accounted for.
I love it when you talk like that, Vash. Now, what I want to do at this point is I want to throw this to our viewers, our commenters. What do you guys think is going on here with Disney Plus? And I wonder if we're looking back at the promise that was made by Bob Chapek and Bob Iger back on December 10th of 2020. I would love to know, when is it that Disney Plus is going to be profitable? Leave your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.